culture. Like you guys all, they have like things that can be shared with the world, right? In the view of your guys' age, it's totally different from the ages, like my age, everybody else's age, right? Because you guys see things and people can relate to it. If people can relate to it, that is called content. And now you're creating that content for those other people to relate to. Influences, art, dancing. What is your influence? Like, what do you like to do?
Blogging.
Blogging?
Yeah.
Talking, you like to talk?
Yeah, and like
Explaining and
sure, yeah.
sharing. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's like influences. Like, I'm pretty sure you watch a lot of people that do vlogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's your influences. That's something that you can create with your influence, with your dancing too. Like you have your teachers and you have other students that can influence you on how to make content and your art. You like your art, like the people that your artists that you look up to and everything else like that. So that's your influences. And your personal background goes with like your culture, right? If you're, because I know my wife, she's Mexican and she's very about her culture. And that's, you see that in her everyday life. So that's that. Next is, what are you trying to create? Evergreen, like evergreen videos are like, if they go to your page, they know it's like, it's always lasting. It never gets old. It never gets like, oh, that's last week's video, whatever. It's more about like, it's like a bio video where it's like, this is me. I like to do this, this, and this, and this, right? And you can make a lot of money off of just making evergreen videos for other people because they always need that stuff. Where it's like, if somebody lands on their website, they know it's like, this is what this person's about. Viral videos, I mean, we all know what viral videos are, right? So I have a friend, you know who Abute Sandoval is? He does the Abute Sandoval twist. The FedEx guy? No, you guys aren't part of, okay. So there's this guy, he does, he drives and he used to work for FedEx and he did this dance. And it was like, what was the dance? It was like this. And he went viral for it. And now he has 1.4 million followers on TikTok.
Wow.
He has a whole cult following off of one dance. So that one dance made him viral. But he's always trying to make something new. But so it's like, if you want to be that person, or you want to do timeless videos where it's like, a lot of my old videos, people look at it now, they're like, oh wow, this is way better than videos that are produced now, right? Because it's put together very well. It was thought of, it was something that is, you know, very much timeless. Influential, you want to change people's minds. You want to change how they think, you want to change what they do. So if the industry is dance industry and you have a very unique style and you want to be influential, and then it's like, I'm doing this dance purposely to influence a whole entire industry, right? And with your art, where it's like you're breaking barriers with your art. You're doing things that are totally different, but is in the same category as everything else. And like your blogging, you could have a different type of blogging style. You could have a different type of how you show things and everything else like that. Like, so you want to change the industry of like blogging, right? And so those are the things that I think about when I create videos. What categories is this going to be in, right?
Can I ask this question?
Yeah.
So the difference between timeless and evergreen, because you said evergreen is lasting, doesn't get old.
Mhm.
So timeless is
Timeless can be,
stands the test of time.
yes,
What you created back then is
Yes.
much better. So
timeless
the
would be,
distinction between the two.
yeah. So evergreen is more like if you read my bio, this is what it
Oh,
is,
okay.
right?
Okay.
A timeless is like, you're taking a time, but then they don't know if it was like yesterday
Okay,
or like 10 years ago when everything's like
Okay.
that. So yeah.
thank you.
What makes you stand out? Your persona, how you talk in front of the camera, how you edit your videos, and how you see things, right? So that's your persona, your communication. Just like how I'm talking to you guys, right? Hopefully my communications be like, from a week from now, you're like, oh yeah, that Thomas guy, he was really cool. Or you're like, he said a lot of cool things that I like. Because I communicated with you guys so well, it's like, it's gonna make me stand out. And then if you have a video that you need to be done, it's like, oh, I'm gonna tell Thomas because, you know, he stands out than everybody else. Your knowledge, how well do you know what you're talking about? How well do you know what your creation is that you're making? And how can you articulate it where other people can understand what you're talking about? And also your network. Your network is very important because if you don't know nobody and you're doing something there, it's like you're just the basic black sheep. A black sheep that no one's looking at, right? So if you're gonna go into that industry, make sure that you do your research and you make friends and you make your network big as possible. And then once you get into that industry, everybody will be like, oh, okay, I see you, I see you, I see you, I see what you did. And then their network will be part of your network also. So it's the whole matrix thing. What skills do you offer? This is more just about creating videos. Your editing style. There's different types of editing style. There's types of like vlog documentary style. There's types that are highlight reel, really fast, fast movement, and whatever one is it? Fast. And then it's more, or it could be more of like a montage type of video. So there's different types of style of videos that you can make that it will fit your personality. Directing skills. Can you direct somebody? Are you willing to be like, oh no, I need you to sit over there and look that way, but turn your hips this way? Are you confident enough to do that? Just because if you don't do it, your shot's not gonna look right. Like, I don't want you to be facing this way. I want your body this way, but I still want you to be facing this way, right? So directing too. So you have to be assured of yourself when you're talking to people, when you need to, because when they look at you and you're telling them these things, you're the leader in the industry. You're the #1 main person that they hired you because they were like, because sometimes, a lot of times in my videos, when I first started, people always said, oh, it doesn't look right. Then I look back at it and I was like, oh, it's because I didn't position them right. So that's another main thing too. And then the recent past years, I've been confident enough to tell people what to do because I know that some people don't like to be told what to do. But then if you tell them what to do and it looks good, they can't tell you nothing. Selling or verbalizing your ideas. With me, I have very wild ideas. I have like things that are totally out of the box that in some industries, they're like, no, we need to stick to this because this is how it works. But if you have an idea and you know how to verbalize idea where you're coming across like you're really confident in your idea, where it's like, we need to go to a rooftop with a helicopter. And they're like, why? This is skincare. No, trust me, because your skincare is so good, it'll test the time of the helicopter's air that's blowing down,
Oh, yeah.
right? And so it's like, that's the aspect that you want to sell to them. I haven't got that helicopter yet.
So say, what type of budget do you need for that?
So. There's people, you know.
Yeah,
Selling a concept, it goes with verbalizing your idea also. You sell your concept. You sell it so hard where you believe that anybody will buy it. And then once you can sell your concept, that's when the real money comes in, because people, you see all those logos, right? If you can sell your concept to any of these people here, you'll be set up for a very good long time. How can you change the industry? Visually, you can change the industry. I work with an aesthetics place. They do veneers, they do implants for teeth and everything else like that. That industry is very much like, you know, what do you think about when you hear the word dentist? Teeth cleaning, mouth open, gums showing, right? So this is the problem that we had with my client, is like, how can we make it where it's, wow, I really want to go to this place. And that's what we did. We didn't even do any teeth shots. We just had the person come into the space, look at the space, talk to the doctor, enjoy their time. And that was it. There was never a tool in the mouth. There was never gum shown. There was never none of those things, because those are the things that we're all here for, right? So in the dentistry, it's all about teeth. Like, let me show you my gums and stuff like that. And nobody wants to look at videos or photos of gums. Innovation. How can you innovate whatever you're doing? How can you innovate, bringing new light into something that is very old? So innovation is very key. And then the last one is mentorship. Are you willing to be a mentor? Are you willing to have somebody under your wing to teach them how to do art? Because that brings them into the industry, and then they have different ideas, because everybody else has different ideas. And so then they're breaking the industry also. And then when they say, or when somebody asks them, who did you learn from? They learned from you. And then they're like, okay, I need her in a video, or I need her to do something for me. I need, you know what I mean? And also it goes the exact same way with you guys too. What is your style of creating? A true creator, where it's like, I need hands-on. I need to do this myself. I need to have different ideas. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to make sure my videos are not going to look like anybody else's videos. I'm going to be the best of the best. I'm going to be, no one can beat, right? That's a true creator, because they don't want stuff that's like, that's okay, that's all right. But then you have another style is monkey see, monkey do, where it's, you get your app, your Canva, you know what Canva is? Canva, you put all that stuff in there, and there you go. It's all built for you. It's just monkey see, monkey do, where it's like, okay, there's a cool social media post. I'm gonna do it for myself, right? It's like, now you have to think about, what are you gonna do? Because if there is real money in monkey see, monkey do style. It's just, how can you tweak it enough where it's a little bit different, but it's very easy for you, right? How far are you willing to go with your creative ideas? Know your limits, because if you're saying, just like how I said the whole helicopter thing, right? In my mind, I know I can do it. In other people's mind is like, whoa, right? So it's like knowing your limits of trying to reach to it because when we fail, we as people, we fail hard, right? So that's why I say don't set a goal. Like, okay, my goal is I want to do this, but then when you fail at it, sometimes you feel like you're getting taking 2 steps back, right? So when I say is know your limit, reach your limit, and once you reach your limit, then go to the next level of what you think and what you do. Because as we grow, our minds grow, our creative juices flow more, and we understand a lot more things than we did like 9 months ago or 2 years ago. I think I touched that too, how to expand your limits. Expand your limits can be from going to school, mentorship, getting a mentor, learning YouTube videos, asking around, having honest reviews about your work, where it's like, hey, can you look at this and tell me what I did wrong? I don't even ask people what I did right. I just want to know, what did I do wrong? Because then if the whole list is all bad, then that whole entire video is really bad. But if I say, but that's a good thing, because then it's like, because if somebody says, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good, then you're just gonna focus on that. And that's gonna be like, okay, I just need to focus on this. And then everything else is okay. But then if you focus on the bad, that good is always gonna be greater. Because when you weed out the bad stuff, the good stuff grows also. Because everything is getting elevated. In your mindset, say you're the best. Say you're the best at what you do. Don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid. If you're in a room of a whole bunch of people and you know you're good and you want to be good, say you're the best. I say I'm the best. Even though I'm not the best. I know I'm not the best, but I'm confident enough to say that I want to be the best. I'm going to be the best in what I do. Say you're going to be the best dancer, the best dance videos. You're going to have the best vlogs out of everybody else that you know, right? You're going to have the best art out of everybody that you know, right? So it's like, if you tell the group of people that you're around, because a lot of my group of friends, they think of me as like one of the best videographers in the Northwest. But then I could put on a handful of people that are better than me, but those people believe in me because I tell them, because it's more of like guy talk, where it's like, you know, I'm the best. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at this. But then it also influences you when you get into other groups. You have that confidence. It's all about confidence in what you do. And if you don't have that confidence, then why are you doing it, right? Because what's your best subject in school? Math. What are you getting? What's your grade?
Well, I mean, like, it's my highest.
It's your highest class.
Yeah.
You're confident in it, right? So if they gave you a test, you feel confident in passing the test, right? And you?
Choir.
Choir? So you're a really good singer.
Well, no, it's just easier for me.
It's easier. And if you had to sing in front of a crowd for a solo, would you be able to do it? Maybe. You need that confidence.
No, you're the best.
You're the confident. Like you should. My daughter, she was in choir, and she would get mad that she didn't get that solo role. And she knew that she was better than everybody, and she was better than everybody else, but she didn't fit that pocket of what needs to be sung. Like her pitches were kind of different, whatever. But I instilled in her, like, you're the best. You're one of the best singers in this whole entire choir thing. And she believes it and she knows it because she sings in the shower every single night.
What's your?
What's your best subject?
Probably English.
English? Okay. So if you had to write a paper
Yeah,
Like easy work?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's your art medium that you like to work with?
Traditional, digital. I'm just messing around and going different types right now. Just figuring out what works and doesn't.
And it would be good to find out what your niche is,
Yeah.
right? Because your niche will drive you. Because if you're doing a whole bunch of, if you're starting out in what you're doing and you find your niche that you're really good at, be 100% great at it. Be 100% committed to it. And then once you are the forefront person and the person that everybody looks to for that niche, then you can go into other things where it's like, because once you're a leader, people are gonna follow, and then that's inspiration. And then other leaders are gonna ask you about how did you do this and what did you do about this? And then those leaders will teach you about what their niche is, right? So it's basically, we don't use a pawn, like on chess, we don't use a pawn to go kill the king because there's a lot of other factors that are in the way of a pawn, right? Crossing over your other ideas, is your content relatable to other industries? Can they see, this is also another selling point, is like, your content, is it relatable to, so a lot of my videos, they deal with like breakdancing. Like my style is more like fast paced, a lot of transitions and everything like that. Is it relatable for dentistry or is it relatable for home mortgage? No, but I'll make it, right? I'll make it cool. I'll make the industry, that industry cool, where it's, where they want that, where they need that, because once they get a little piece of it, they're hooked onto it. They're like, I need more, I need more, I need more videos like that. And selling your creative ideas. How can you take the mind frame, for me, hip hop, the mind frame of a hip hop person and put it into mortgage lending, like selling houses, real estate? How can I take that mindset and bring it over? So what I did is the creative idea. So in hip hop and breakdancing, there's four levels. There's the dance, the top rock, footwork, power moves, and freezes, right? So the top rock is the beginning when they dance around, right? So that's the introduction for, let's say, a home real estate person, where we talk about the person. We talk about what they do and where they're from. And then the footwork is more of like a brief introduction into their job. So it could be them walking around the house, showing a listing and everything like that. And then power move is basically a power move where they're selling the house. They sold the house. They gave the keys to the people, right? And a freeze is something where it's like, now you watched all these things. Now I'm the person that when you look at their face, and you freeze, you're like, oh, I need to buy a house. I'm gonna talk to that person, right? And so that's the mindset that I have when I'm working with anything, is the top rock, footwork, power moves, freeze.
That's pretty cool.
Knowing when to cross over. Would you cross over and make videos for dance? No, probably not. But if you're really good at your videos, right? And like yours are like top tier, you're just knocking out videos every single day. You're like, okay, this is getting kind of boring. What do I need to do? Would you be confident enough to like, okay, and then she asks you, hey, can you do a video for me? Right? And you're just like, I just do videos every single day. You know, this is easy. It's easy. Would you be more inclined to do it?
Sure.
Yeah, see, it's all about knowing when to cross over. It's all about like getting to that level and being confident enough to go over to the other industry. You're not gonna get the same money, you're not gonna get the same like views, but you're gonna learn that industry. And as you grew in the other industry, you're gonna grow in the other industry also.
And it's not like when there's collaboration, right?
Yeah.
So your name again?
Yeah. Detail.
Ditia is dancer, and your name?
Sophia.
Sylvia?
Sophia.
Sophia is the content
Mhm.
creator of art,
Mhm,
and Ditia is content creator dance,
mhm.
but she's creating, and maybe she's done the backdrop to
Yeah,
you know, what Ditia is dancing. And so is that working together?
yes, working
Where
together.
it's that a collaboration piece?
Piece, yes. So you're gonna have a lot of different ideas versus, well, actually, both you guys' genres are very much the same. It's art,
Mhm.
right? Your art is painting with art, your art is body movement, right? So it could be a very cool collaboration where it's like you're drawing and then you're doing the exact same move with your arm. And then it's like, so it's like more like synchronization where it's what you guys are doing, right? So this is totally off the top of my head. But that could be very cool where it's like, and then it's a whole picture, but then you just painted a whole picture with your whole like body movements and stuff like that, a story, right?
That's the true creator in you, in
Yeah.
yourself, coming up on the fly.
And then the last one, well, this went faster than I thought it would be. Work for self or somebody else. I go through this a lot. I actually do both sides. I work for myself. I have a large client list for myself, but then I do work with other people that hire me out. So a lot of people that hire me out are more for like big industries like Nike, and the Hops, and all those people. They hire me out. For that, so back to working for yourself, willing to push and promote yourself, willing to put yourself out there, willing to take that step, because I don't know if you guys are very shy people, like introvert or extrovert. I'm more like both. So if you're an introvert and you want to be a content creator, you guys know what you guys have to do, right? So that's another thing where it's like, okay, maybe you're super introverted. Maybe working for somebody else would be better, right? Where you don't have to go and look for things. People's like, okay, here's your task. This is what you need to do. Here's your task. This is what you need to do. That's for more like introverted people. When like extroverted people, they're like, hey, how's it going? I'm Thomas. You need a video? You need a video? You need a video done? I'm really good at it. Like seriously, I'm really good at it. You don't believe me? Watch this video, right? Knowing what you have to offer. What do you have to offer? I mean, when you go to a negotiation table, and you're trying to get more money at work, what are you gonna do? Hi, I'm here,
Right.
right? So knowing your skills, knowing what you've learned, knowing the people that you know, that's going to help you sell yourself. Because I can go to Nike and I can say, I've worked with your top people at your work, and I work with them. And you're like, you can ask them, go ahead, call them, and then they'll vouch for me, and then there you go. Like the people I know that I have a set of skills that a lot of people don't have. Mentorship and training from somebody else. Are you willing to teach people? Are you willing to sit in a classroom and have people look at you and then you talk?
Like today.
Or are you willing to have somebody train you, right? Like, hey, I'm doing a video shoot. come along with me and I'll teach you what you need to be taught. And so that's more of like, for you guys, that's like perfect. For me, if somebody said, hey, come with me, I'll train you how to do videos. Like, no, I'll train you. And also the benefits, the whole, if you work for yourself, you make your schedule, you get to say no to people. You get to say, nah, let's do it next week. And you get, but the off benefits is sometimes the money is not consistent, like how working for somebody else is. So that's what I struggle with. But then I always make sure that things are aligned correctly, where it's like, okay, this is when you get to say, oh, let's do it next week, or let's do it this day, let's do it this day, where you don't have to take everything out all at one time. But then from working for somebody else, they could push it all on you and you can't say nothing about it. And you're just stuck with it, right? So there's a lot of variables to all these things. Then that's it.
Can we see any of the content you've created?
Oh, yeah. I had to.
Oh, I think. So, yeah.
Oh, if you go to thomaschungfilms.com. Yeah. I hope you guys learned something.
Yeah, I did.
I learned something too.
So, so while she's pulling some videos, like what type of education and training is good, right?
Oh, good. For me, this is probably gonna sound really bad. I dropped out of high school, got my GED. I got my GED. Then I dabbled into videos. And then I knew I was gonna go to, I don't know if you guys start like a Wholesale University. So that's a university that does all digital media production, like it's a university. That didn't work out. And so I went to YouTube University. From YouTube University, I learned all I need to learn, like the basics, and then I just put myself into it. Like I threw myself into it, where the industry isn't like how it is now, where people were giving more grace, where they weren't like, your videos aren't looking like these other videos I saw like on my phone. So it was more, that's why I learned like on job, on-site learning. And so that became to now I'm here, where it's people do think that I went to like college and stuff like that and everything else, like, and I was like, no, not really.
And so as far as like video editing and learning all of that, that's all been self-taught
Yeah.
through.
everything I do, I give an ode to hip hop, because hip hop is very creative.
Mhm.
You have to be creative when you're in the hip hop industry. And like dancing, you don't want to look like anybody else.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of my mindset came from. So it's more of like what I was taught and how I grew up. And now it's reflecting on today. So please show up.
Mhm. Can you let me know which ones you.
So there's so this is,
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So this video is more of an evergreen video. And this is for an aesthetics place. So that's more of like an evergreen video where it's just put up there and then they just know about the person, right? And so this one is,
Do you direct the
yes.
what happens?
Yeah. So this is Vita Barbers there in Hillsborough.
It's not the bottom.
So now, so with this video, a lot of the barber style videos, it's really like boom, 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 boom. I wanted to tell them like, hey, let's tell a story. So now all the people that are talking about is how they got into barbering, what barbering taught. They're kind of a little bit more fast paced.
Do you have one of your hip hop videos?
Yeah.
You're dancing?
Show that one. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. You-
Oh, this is a jujitsu one.
This one?
Yeah. I work with jujitsu people. So she likes to write stories. And so we incorporated that, like as she's typing.
what is your favorite piece of content if you were to narrow it down?
I think all of it because it challenged me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, they were like, I'm not to the point where it's like, I love the challenge. I love doing things that is outside the box. Even with like my dance videos, like that's how I started, but then like all my dance videos are outside the box.
Mhm.
Or like, it doesn't look like everybody else that's doing it. Because I get a lot of people, because if you notice all my videos, I don't put a logo.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no, I know this.
because I want my work to speak for itself, where it's like, oh, I know Tom's did that video,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I get a lot of. So that's the biggest thing about it.
So as the industry changes so fast and moving with the different platforms, like you have TikTok and all the changes like within Twitter, like how do you constantly stay creative, but also like the work that you're doing, but then your eye towards the next steps ahead?
Yeah.
And how to fit within genres that are so large and so many different demographics.
Yeah. Where I don't know how I test the time. I really don't. I think it's just like creativity. Like people see as my videos as just a straight up creative. And so there's going to be, or there has been a point where I got bored of it, like looking at my videos because it's looked so similar. That's when I challenged myself. Okay, I need to do something different. I need to do something that's either taking an element and heightening what I do, and then taking another element and heightening what I do. And so that pretty much expanded my creativity, where it's, okay, I could do this now. I could do this now. So for being a content creator, there's going to be creative blocks, and creative blocks, you just have to fight through it. Or either you fight through it, you go to somewhere that inspires you, that makes you think about, oh, I could do this with this, and merging things together. So once you start merging things together, everything gets elevated, everything gets risen top, right? And so that's the most important thing, where it's like, it's okay to look at something and be inspired by it. Like I get inspired by art a lot, just by looking at art, and then you're like, oh, I can see this and this and this and this. And then I ask my wife, what does she sees? She sees totally something different. And so when I look at that, I take that and I apply it to my own art, my own videos that I do.
When did you start creating content?
For other people, or for
Both for yourself and for other people?
I really don't create content for myself.
Yeah.
But for other people, about 7 years ago. Yeah. About 7 years ago, where it's more of like business, like, okay, you hired me to create your content, and then creating the content again.
Do you have any questions that you guys want to ask? Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
What's a typical day in your life like?
Oh, okay. So that's funny. Typical day today, I went to Vancouver to the Solace. It's a tequila bar / Mexican restaurant. It's one of the biggest, like it's super fancy. I was there shooting a video for the person that designed the place. I don't know. I don't want to look at you. Person that designed the place. So they went through the space and then
Just look
talked
at the
about
camera.
they talked about how the creating of the space, because it's very unique. It's very, if you have time to look at it, is Dosalas, DOLAS. a Mexican kitchen tequila bar. But then, and then I'm here now. And then at 5 o'clock, I have to go to an aesthetics place where the dentist is teaching how to run a business. Because today is Entrepreneurship Day.
Oh, hey, look at what great
I learned-
timing that we have you here for
Yeah,
that.
I learned that
I
this
love it.
morning. So yeah, but on the other typical day where I'm not out shooting, it's more just in front of the computer, editing all the jobs that I have. So it's either or. It's not like I'm in a cubicle all day, but I get to go outside.
Are there ever jobs that you start working on and then they don't like the process, or they don't see your vision for what you're trying to create?
Yes,
What does that look like?
that looks like I took an L. It's
And so then are you starting from scratch again, essentially, or?
no, I've learned, my wife has taught me is, if they don't see your vision, get out as fast as possible. Because it's going, you can't beat a dead horse to have it come back alive. So if it's early in the process, and usually I get paid at the end of the project.
Okay.
So she always tells me, if you don't like what you're doing, or if they're not showing their gratitude of what is going on, or like they're giving you so much strife, then I think it's probably gonna time to get out of it, because as you do it, the more deeper you get into it, where it's like, I don't want to work with these people, but I've got so far already. So yeah, that's another good thing about working for yourself.
Yeah, do you create all of your contracts then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I create the contracts, billing, invoices, everything from top to bottom. I pay myself. Like, no, I actually pay myself, and then I put the rest in the bank account. So yeah, it's a real business.
Yeah, so that part is the artist, creator. But then you also have to be a business person
Right.
and understanding like how your pricing structure, and when you're losing that profit loss.
Yes.
And I would imagine maybe a challenge if like what you started off was people within the hip hop community and the dance community, that they're friends of yours.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey man, will you just like do this
Yep.
for me? And they expect you to do it for free.
Right.
They don't want to pay you for it. Like that line of,
Right.
no,
That is very,
come on, give me
yes.
some.
even my prices, I had to raise my prices this year. And I was like, I really don't want to, because I have to tell everybody that I raised my prices. And I told them, they're like, oh, I understand. And then one person said, you should charge a little bit more than what you do. And I'm like, okay, maybe next year. So it's, when you do good work, people understand good work. People really do understand that. And they want to give you the best, and they want to give you, especially because a lot of my clients, I have like a good relationship with them. It's not one of those like you clock in, you clock out. It's more of like a real relationship. So we're able to say, hey, this doesn't look good. Can you change it? Where it's more of like, if your boss came like, this is horrible, it just walks out without no like content of like, what did I do bad?
Oh, sorry. Nope, go ahead. How long does it usually take you to shoot and edit these?
From like on site to coming home and editing it. If I really wanted to, that very same day. So let's say a shoot was an hour. If I really needed to get the video done, probably an hour and 45 minutes. But there goes perks with that. If you need this video done this fast, that's when the price goes up, right? So it's more of like shipping, next day delivery, right? You don't get that, what, $4.95 standard shipping. You pay up to like $100 for next day. Still, it goes hand in hand with anything else too. That's what I learned about.
Do you have a lot of fancy equipment? Or do you do everything just all on,
No
on your
fancy equipment.
laptop and?
What kind of equipment do you have?
I have a Sony, or have 3 digital cameras, like high priced cameras. I have this luggage that I roll around, like it's like a whole suitcase. Lights, cameras, tripods, gimbals, green screens, audio mics, lav mics.
How much would you say you've invested into your business?
Ooh. We go over like 50 grand, maybe. Yeah.
And is that over the years, like getting
Yeah, over
evolves?
the years. Yeah.
Yeah, how
And then
much
are
did,
you looking at like, in that long-term goal, like, the, in the next year, I want to purchase this equipment?
Yeah. It's more of like, you see the new shiny thing, right? But the new shiny thing is like, I know I'm gonna get my money back from it. Besides, if you buy a car, your car, it doesn't hold the value anymore, right? The car is not gonna make you money, or unless you do DoorDash, but then you're driving miles in the car.
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
What would you say is the most important piece of equipment that you need to have like very good quality?
Very good quality. A good lens. A good lens. A good lens. If you're doing vlogging, a good microphone. A very good microphone, because this goes a lot of the in the industry. They say your video can look terrible, but if your audio is good, you're still gonna get the person to watch it, right? But if your audio is really bad and the video is really good, people won't watch it. So I would say audio is probably one of the most important things. Yeah.
What brand of camera do you use?
I use a Sony A7S III and then a Sony FX 3. It's like $4,000.
Yeah, I figured it'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Cause I do photography and stuff.
Okay.
And like my teacher.
Yeah.
And she always recommends to me like I think like what's it that Nikon?
Nikon? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think she always recommends that to me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to put the money into one of those professional cameras.
Yeah, you can. I started off with a $500 camera back 10 years ago. And then it just grew up to, when did I get next camera? Like 5 years after that, I got a new camera after that. So you can have the same camera. Like you could buy a cheap camera for like $200. It's like,
Yeah, I mean even like iPhone cameras.
Yeah.
They're
I suggest not using iPhone.
really.
Like if you're trying to take photos and stuff, I would say actually use an actual camera, because I don't even use this to take video or take photos, just because it doesn't feel right. And if I really needed to like use it, I would use it. And it's more of like a preference thing, because then if somebody hands you a camera, you're like, but if you're used to shooting with this all the time, you're like, I don't know how to do this, but this is easy to shoot with, right? So why are you gonna use the easiest thing to make it the first thing, right? So you use the hardest thing, and then everything else will be easy.
I have a question. What do you know now that you wish you'd known when you were starting out?
Communication. Communication. I think communication is so key, where it's, if you don't know what you're shooting, ask. If you don't know what you're doing, ask. A lot of times when I first started, I would always think that I knew what I was doing, but then it went terribly wrong. Even like the first wedding, or maybe the second wedding I did, they thought that I knew what I was doing, but it was the second wedding. The first wedding was for a friend, and he was like, well, just shoot it, just who cares? No one's gonna care. And he was like, I'm paying you, so no one really cares. And I was like, okay, that went well. And then the second wedding I did, the bride and the groom paid me, and they were like, this is not what we expected. And so it was like communication was like, okay, what do you need? What do you want? How do you want this shot? And everything else like that. So communication. I think it goes with, I just got older and a little bit more confidence, and I just don't want to waste my time anymore.
What do you feel like has been the hardest part of this career for you?
Having people see your vision, where some people are just so like in the box. I gotta do it like this because everybody else is doing like this. But then when you get that person to actually have a little glimpse about what your vision is, then the box is off. There's no box no more. There's nothing for them to be like, oh, maybe we should go back, or we should go this. So like I have a client, Trey Renee, she's on the radio. She's my friend. But I did a logo for her, and she was like, oh, just do the logo, just however you like it. And then I sent it to her, and then she comes back, she's like, oh, I don't really like it. Like, and so how do you want it? So I did it just like how she wants it. And I talked to her the other day. She's like, I think we're just gonna go back to the original one. So that's another thing where you're gonna have to, sometimes like I just did all this work, did it how you exactly did it. Now you want it the other way where I first started. So
You need a little psychology, understandable psychology behind, right? So that you can help people
yeah.
get it out, massage it out to be able to just accept your vision.
Right. Yeah. But she's like, yeah, we're gonna might go back to the first one. Like, yeah, I knew that.
For somebody who is interested to be a content creator and they're doing their own stuff, branching over to where they can have like a Nike as a client and Adidas, like a big company, like that's a pretty big leap because they have tons of people who are probably approaching and all saying, I'm the best. So what advice, what suggestions do you have for somebody who is like in their 5-year goal of, I want to be sought after by, maybe not sought after, I want to go to big companies.
Yeah.
And then get to a place where, they are actually being sought after. Because those are different beasts.
Yeah, infiltrate the industry by having friends that work there, by knowing people that work, build relationships, not build a relationship with Phil Knight, but build relationships with like people that actually work there, so that your name is being brought around when that time comes around. Because that's how I got my Nike contracts, is through people that I know that are head of like one was the Nike SB shoe line. He was a head designer there, and so he was like, okay, I worked with him on a different project that's outside of Nike, but then he knew that I did work, and then he was like, they're asking around for videographers, and so that's how we got brought into it. So yeah, so it's always good to know people, the whole network thing, right? Your network is your net worth.
Who are some of your influences in the industry?
Myself. No, in the industry, I don't know. I don't really follow like people. Like you have those people where, like you're a football player. Or if you're a quarterback, you love Tom Brady, right?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, Joe Montana?
That's a personal opinion.
No.
She's bringing it in.
Oh, what's your team?
Eagles,
Eagles. Okay, Jalen Hurts
yep.
or Donovan McNabb.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
There you go. Randall Cunningham. So,
Even Michael Vick.
oh, okay.
He was a good,
Yeah.
when you get assigned him some things, but he was a great quarterback.
But you have those people that you look up to and you want to be like, right? For me, like being such a creative, I don't want to be like them. I don't follow them. I don't like, wow, that's a great video. I want to do that video. Whereas no, it's like, I just basically building your own lane. So I do look at other people that do, I guess, similar things. So there's this interior designer, Tiffany Thompson. She does designs, houses for NBA players and, multi-million-dollar homes. And I see how because we work together, I see how she creates. I see how there's a reason why for this couch being here, but there's a reason why for the fireplace looking like this. So it's basically the exact same thing where it's like, there's a reason why this video is in this certain part where the music is overlaying everything else like that. So it's more of I look at other people's industry that are great at it, and then I try to see what they do, and then I implement it into what I do. That way you're not, there's a thing called biting, where you're copycatting other people's stuff, so.
What would you say would be good for high school students for starting off with networking? Like how to get out there and outside of the school environment?
I think if you're trying to do video, you have abundance of sports that needs to be videotaped, right? The content. What if you're the content creator for the football team because you see those, you see all the football teams, they have a content creator that's making content that's on their Instagram and stuff like that. You guys could be, I don't know if you guys do have it or not at your school. I don't know if you guys have a football team?
No, we don't have any.
No sports? Okay. So classroom, whatever, like extracurricular activities that you guys do, right? A social media person that's able to capture all those things. And I think high school, there's so much stuff if I did the stuff that I knew in high school, I probably would have stayed in high school. Right? Where it's like, it would keep me involved in high school. So, and then from there, people are going to see your work, and then they're going to want you to do their other stuff that's outside of high school. So use high school as a good avenue, because what's after high school? College, you meet new people, right? So if you're really great during high school, when you get to college, they'll actually pay you to do their social media stuff. They have people that actually do that for them. So, and high school is a very good way to start.
Yeah, we have sports clubs.
Sports clubs, there you go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. See, if they would have a social media person, people would know.
I asked my brother, head of the club, if I could come in during their club times.
Yeah.
Like do photography and like videotaping and like create social media. Like he's like, no.
Oh, because he wants to do it?
Brother. You gotta go
My
see
brother.
somebody else.
Oh, yeah, ask somebody
Go
else.
talk to somebody else.
Yeah, ask the teacher that's overseeing it all. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta go.
We have specific clubs that are like yoga clubs, and then like when you have certain concerts or band concerts in schools, like they'll come and like videotape that stuff or like take pictures of
Yeah.
it and then put it in like a album sort of book that people can
Oh,
buy.
but that's not social media, girl. We need like,
Or sometimes it'll be like on the ISBC page and stuff like that.
oh, yeah. I mean, if they want people to go to these concerts, right? They need to publicize it. Like, hey, we just had a concert. this is it, right? Besides like, oh, catch the next one. I don't know what it looks like. So it's like a very good avenue where content is everywhere. It's just how to create it. How are you gonna make sure that that content is going to be alive and well kicking and everything? So
And it is hard, especially for small businesses, that when you're wearing so many hats, like if you're gonna do social media, you have to do it well.
right.
And it takes time and energy. And so somebody who knows how to do it and can shoot a video
Yeah.
and then edit it,
And
you said
direct
what, in
them.
like an hour and a half or something,
Yeah.
if you had to,
Yeah.
like that would take another business that could be almost like a whole day activity.
Right.
And so when time is money and you're looking at, wait, I could pay Thomas who can get it done
Right.
and use his creative vision, or we could do it in-house and have it take forever and not even really have it look like the way we want, dollar per dollar.
I mean, you can, if it's an hour shoot, you can produce so much content in that hour. You just have to have a list of things, because this is what I do with one of the guys I work with. We get a new client, we deep dive in their website, and then we extract things that need to be highlighted.
Mm.
And so then we have a whole list of like 20 videos. 20 videos, that's like 40 days worth of content. You know, so it's like, okay, so we could shoot all that in an hour and a half. And then that's your content for like a whole like 3 months if needed be. So
Do you have mapped out like this vision of companies who you want to work for, or not work for, but do work for,
do work
and
with,
And-
yeah.
and doors that you haven't knocked on yet, but it's like, oh, I want to go there?
Not really. I don't really do goals. I just do. From where I'm at to now, I'm just really happy with the people that I have,
Mhm.
where it's always growing. It's always growing. But then when it grows. I feel it's growing in the right direction. Where, okay, just let me see this plant flourish by itself. Besides putting it like in a little pot, and then it can only grow so much. Where it's like, just put a big pot and put that little plant in it and see how big it grows. So.
Any questions on Zoom for our guest that is on with us? Give me a minute to put it in the chat if so.
Like, what are your rates? Can you share that?
So I have broken it down to one-time video rate, to multiple video rate, to an actual 6-month contract, and then just social media by itself. So can we talk numbers?
Mhm.
Oh, so a single video rate is $750, and then a multiple video rate is a minimum of 3 videos, but they're at $350 each. And then the 6-month contract is the $250, but you have to buy 6 months worth of videos. So every month, so 6 videos. And so that is paid in the very beginning, and then you're just working the videos as they go.
Do you have any sponsorships?
No,
No.
my wife.
Your wife?
The best one,
Yeah.
my kids.
Not yet, maybe. Down the line. Maybe Sony might sponsor me.
There you go.
Yeah.
How long do you see yourself creating content for in a professional setting as this?
Probably about the life. Where probably next year, or maybe late into next year, probably hiring another videographer, another person to help me with all the business and stuff. So that's the goal, even though I don't make goals. That's the idea. The idea would be to able to help somebody, just like support that. Yeah. So
And so when you're working with Nike, are you working directly with them? Or are you also working with their ad agency? Is that like?
so it's a mixture.
It's a mixture?
Yeah, it's a mixture. Usually it's the creative director or Nike,
Mhm.
or the Nike hires an agency to help with the commercial or the event.
Do you ever find sometimes conflict between what the ad agency?
Yeah.
And then you, and so
Yeah.
how you navigate that?
Usually when like an ad agent or an agency, they just hire you specifically just for videotaping or like videographing or just special effects,
Mhm.
because then they already have their plethora of people in their agency that does things.
Right.
So I always talk to them like, how much free range do I have right now?
Mhm.
Right? And they always say, oh, I just need you to do this and this. I'm like, okay. So it's the whole, I'm gonna give you this and there you go.
Yeah.
I have a question. What's the favorite thing about what you do, and what's your least favorite thing about what you do?
Favorite thing I like to do is probably talking to new people. Probably because I'm a nerd when it comes to anything, and I like to learn about that industry, where sometimes they think I know what I'm talking about, but I just learn from them, and then what they talk about, and I just regurgitate it. Least favorite thing, probably the late night editings. Like sometimes I can stay up until like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning editing a video just to get it right, just because I need to have it right before I go to bed.
Mhm.
Then I'll get like horrible sleep.
Do you feel like it, because you're in business for yourself, or, and I guess it doesn't
Yeah.
matter either way, do you feel like you have a good work-home life balance?
Oh yeah, I think I do. I think because I have my own like separate space where my family knows like dad's in his space, leave him alone. Like when he comes out, he comes out. But if it's an emergency, let him.
Well, and like if your day started this morning out at Vancouver, and then you're here, and then into the evening,
Mhm.
like you haven't had any time at the office, so to speak, right? Your home office,
Yeah,
to go back and take care of like the footage that you took in the morning.
oh yeah,
And so that place of like, my work hours are in a 24-hour day. This day was a 20-hour day.
Yeah.
And into your personal time, like how do you balance that?
I'm very lucky that my wife is very understanding about my work and how passionate I am about it. And she's always been my #1 supporter. So, and plus my kids too, also, they really support me, where the things I don't do when I'm not there, they do it. So I'm not worried about, oh, is the dog getting out? Is dinner being made? Are the dishes are washed? They take care. When dad's not there, they all step up. So I think that because we did have a family meeting about when dad's not here, because I go to Arizona, I go to California, go to Texas
Is that for
for
work?
work. Yeah, for work. And I'll be gone for like 3-4 days. So
What
How
is
many-
the biggest opportunity that this career has allowed you to embark on without realizing, like, that you didn't know you were gonna have an opportunity to do this,
oh,
but
a TV show.
Hmm.
Yeah, we produced with Trey Renee. She does a TV show called Situation Conversations. It's on network TV. It's on, what was it, Fox. It was on Fox. It was aired in the morning, but it's kind of like The View.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so she talks about with leaders in Portland about everything that's going on. So that's like actual situations, and then she'll have a conversation about with like homelessness and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a blur. Yeah, I never thought I would do a TV show, and I was the one that directed it, videographed it, like top to bottom.
The whole show.
Yeah, the whole show.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was fun. Season 3 coming.
Stay tuned.
Most fun.
What's the show again? Situation?
Situations and Conversations with
Mm.
Trey Renee.
Nice.
So if you, what time is it? So it's 3 o'clock right now. She's probably gonna be on Jammin' 107.5.
Okay.
So.
Situations or conversations. But that's on radio, so
No,
Oh,
that's
no.
it's on YouTube.
it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube right now. Any other
Any other
questions?
questions?
No?
Do you see, what do you see for the future of content creation?
The future, like the future of the industry itself.
Yeah,
I think there's always going to be a need for it. I don't think so. It's going to be like a metaverse thing because I don't think so. That's going to really work. So there's always going to be content that needs to be created. And just like, I guess the health industry, it's always going to be there. With content, it's always going to be there and somebody needs to create it. So I think it goes hand in hand about how the need for it is.
Do you have focus groups that you work with? Like when you said like you put your work out there and like, don't tell me what you like about it, but tell me what you don't. Like, do you actually go amongst with people who you know, or do you seek out random
Oh.
people who aren't?
No, it's usually my wife. My wife is the biggest critic. She knows if I could do better or not better.
Yeah.
She likes to tell me the hard truth.
That's good. You need those
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
What do you
golden.
blog about? Do you have like, is it kind of anything, or do you have a particular lens?
Pretty much anything, just like my life in general.
Mhm.
It's a great way to start your life.
How long have
Especially-
you been doing that?
I think I posted the video around end of last year, maybe beginning of this year. I had fun editing it though. I like that.
That's good.
And do
Any,
you want to take that like larger scale?
My dad recently got a new camera that's like supposed to be really good with videos. So I think I'd like to get back into that pretty soon.
Yeah. Do you do any content creating?
Well, after all the pandemic and stuff, I have a mentor. She's actually my dance teacher. And we do a lot of performances and stuff, and those are filmed and they're put on YouTube and all over like Instagram and different platforms. But I want to create something on my own. Only problem is getting it started by myself. I think it's the motivation that gets me. I don't know how to start it, and if I do, I don't know if it's gonna actually work or be big enough to like
It doesn't matter about being big enough. It's not about like you actually doing it, because you don't know how big it's gonna get. You don't know if you're gonna get 10,000 views on the first video, or you're gonna get 5 views on the first video. It's one of those things where it's you have to start somewhere, and if you don't start anywhere, then you're just sitting in the exact same spot. So I would say do a couple and then fill it out, and then you can be like, okay, this is the style that I want. This is how I envision it, right? Because when you see it, you kind of believe it. You start believing it, and then you start making these types of videos, these types of renderings about what your videos want to be like. So your mind is so far, right? Where it's like, I envision this and this and this and this, but then you got to scale it down, like knowing your limit, right? Okay, your limit is, I just need to put up my phone and just dance and see what it looks like on video. Because when you see it in the mirror and you see it on TikTok, it's totally different, right? You're like, oh, I could do this better, I could do this better, I could do this better, I could have this.
Not at all.
Yeah. So just go and do it.
Do you have a subject matter that you want it to be on? Would it be on dance, or what are you wanting to?
Yeah, just dance. I mean, not all kinds. I would prefer if it was classical because I'm like more open in that area. I'm not really open to other stuff. That would be cool to try out for like the future and stuff. Once I kind of feel more comfortable with other things.
Like classical, just a movement like in classical dance. I'm trying to.
It's not like ballet and stuff. It's
Like contemporary.
yeah.
Contemporary, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That'd be cool. If you have a theme, if you have, this is more like set design.
Your whole ad right now.
Like a whole like set design where it's like, I don't know, what's a song that you would,
No, we don't like have specific songs. It's like storytelling kind of. But
Yeah.
you do it while you dance.
yeah,
And you can choreograph it by yourself and stuff.
Would you do music too?
No, I don't.
oh,
There's like
okay.
a specific class and stuff that you have to take for that.
Oh, okay. So then it's, I mean, if it's like heartbreak or like a breakup or something like that, it's like you do a whole story about it, right? So it's like you have a guy, he breaks up with you, and then you start doing this dance, right? And then at the end of it, he probably see the dance and then come back and ask you back, and you're like, no, I don't want you no more. I
You've had your chance.
just did my dance. I did my breakup dance. You know what I mean? So those, like adding those little elements to it to make it like more of a show besides a video.
Yeah, the dances, you tell stories that are actually true that have happened in the past that are like based on gods or goddesses and stuff like that
Okay.
instead.
So you guys have like a whole like outfits and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. You should do it.
And what about you? Do you have a specific interest in the content you want to create?
I mean, sort of. It's still figuring it out. I think I'd probably want to like work for a company first, so I get a feel for what I want to do with the direction my art goes into. Like, I think I want to once I go to college, I might be an understudy for people in Micah and stuff, since they have a pretty good company over there with
Yeah.
like stop motion and everything. So I could do either like the technical side with photography, or I could do the more like art side and do like sculpting and figuring and stuff. So,
Nice. I have a friend that his mentor is one of the creative directors for Life.
oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
And so He's a big art dude too.
Yeah, my parents run a food truck, so they have been networking with like companies like,
Oh, really?
like Nike and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably why I want to work at like it because you know that like you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of like smaller businesses just like that around here too. So
Do you find when you're out and about, are you constantly like marketing yourself or thinking about, oh, I think I want to maybe approach these guys, like the barber shop,
Oh.
right? Like how did they come to you or did you see them one day and
they came, or everybody gets referred to me.
Mm.
So I rarely have to sell myself, but if I do have to sell myself, it'd be easy.
Did you sell yourself more at the beginning of your career?
A little bit for those weddings, I had to sell myself. But then after that, it was more, okay, I know Thomas, he does this. Oh, here's his number. So yeah. So
All about people you know.
yeah. Your network.
yeah.
See, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. Just saying.
Did you experience any real challenges with the work that you do during COVID and the pandemic or
That's
did you
where it
find
all-
that actually it increased?
It increased. Everybody, we can't be in person no more, so we need videos.
Mhm.
So that's when everything just went. It's like, okay. So for people, COVID was not good. For some people, COVID was good. So yeah.
Well, any other questions that you guys can think of?
I've got one.
Oh, I think
What is-
Susan has.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone starting out?
Don't be afraid. I think sometimes we get into this headspace where everybody's judging you. Like, let them judge you because then you know what to do better.
Mm.
Because if everybody's saying good things about you and the work is not that great, maybe you need a new set of friends. Have those people that do give you the honest truth, that is willing, but they have to come from a sincere place in their heart, right? Because you're not going to listen to somebody that's always bragging on people, always bringing them down, and they're just like, I don't care, you suck,
Mhm.
right? But then if the person says, well, your video is not good because this and this and this, and then you trust them, and then you're able to take that feedback in a different way versus your videos suck, they just suck.
That makes me wonder like what kind of content would I create?
Makes me want to go home and create some content.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure you guys have a lot of stuff here.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like you, like that getting started, like that moving from swirling in my head to now actually
Doing it.
implementing it.
Yeah. There's always, I work with a lot of business where I get them started,
Mhm.
right? Because I work with a mortgage team. They've never done video before, but I did a contract where it's, okay, let me set you up and let me show you how to, like, kind of like a mentorship, like, let me set you guys up and then this is how it should be ran. And then from there, it's like just getting their people's feet wet.
Mhm.
And then from that, they'll be able to swim into the middle of the ocean. That's the
Yeah,
goal.
I have ADHD, so my brain's always going a million miles a minute and I come up with really good ideas, but then I get stuck in the weeds of like now how to actually make it happen.
Yes, I am like that too.
So getting it out of here onto,
In physical form,
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's always the hard part.
it is. Which sometimes then in that, like, imposter syndrome comes up, or that feeling of like, am I gonna do it good enough? I don't know, and so that self-critic comes in.
Well, then it's always, like I said, the selling of your idea. You could tell somebody like, this is my idea, run with it, go.
Yeah.
Where someone is able to create it, is able like, okay, they just need someone to tell them what to do,
Mhm.
and then it's being created, right? So you're like the creative director, and then they're the content creator, right?
Mhm.
So you gotta learn what hat you wear.
Yeah, there's this guy on TikTok, and he's autistic, and he has all these, like, wants to try things, but he's like usually holds his own self back, and so his whole content is showing him attempting. He has some of the greatest like cooking and baking, and so it's like, this is how I want it to be. So I don't know if you've ever seen on Nailed It, is the cooking
Oh,
show.
yeah.
And so it's kind of like that, but then he'll show, he doesn't edit out his flops, but it's what makes it so enjoyable is that he's real. And it's so in that place of like being relatable. And so taking as a person who has autism and has those challenges, that not letting him hold back. And he's grown like huge followers because of that fact that people can see themselves in him, and that he has put himself out there, and has taken that risk, and knows that he wishes somebody like him had been there to see. So it is that, I think, like what you were saying earlier, of having that, being that true creator and not necessarily doing what's out there, because it's like, if you're following that formula, I can't do it like that, so I'm just gonna do myself. And somebody, like you were telling Ditia, that you might have 5 people watch it, or you might have 500 people, or it might blow up, but it's that word of mouth comes in.
Especially, even though this is a small group, it only takes one person to change the outlook of what everybody is, right? Because you never know. You might have one of the next video might be the best blog in the whole entire world, and everybody's want to copy it, right? And you're just that one person where you just change the industry just because, oh, I'm going to take this content creator class. So it only takes one person to change the industry.
And so with that, we can all be industry change makers. Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
I think this is good, unless there's any other burning questions.
any last questions on Zoom land? No? Okay. You can stop the recording.
Yeah, if you want to show, yep, and stop
Do
the
you want to show
recording.
the evaluation form QR code before you do that?
Yep.